Hello, welcome back to the Chemistry Simplified classes. In the earlier lecture, we have discussed about the indicators and also we did about the properties of acids, different indicators, different acids, strong acids, weak acids, that all we have discussed in the last lecture. So today we are going to discuss about the bases and salts. Alright, so this is the second chapter of class 10th, acid, bases and salt. So let's get started. Acids, bases and salts. So what are the bases? First of all, what are bases? Sometimes or every day, okay, whenever you wash your clothes and you take the soap and wash your clothes, you feel that soapy touch in your hand. Similarly, if you have ever got to taste baking soda, you might have felt some bitterness into it. Okay, so when we talk about bases, bases are those substances which have bitter taste, and which are soapy in touch. For example, baking soda, washing soda. Okay, so we say that bases are those chemical substances which have a bitter taste, right? But just as we discussed that it is not possible for all the acids to taste and identify it is an acid, it is not an acid. Similar way, it is not possible that we taste and touch everything and find out whether it is a base or not. Okay, so we know that bases are chemically opposite to acids. So, just like acid gives H plus ion in the aqueous solution, similarly, bases give OH minus ion in the aqueous solution. So if you want to define bases are those substances which give OH minus ion in their aqueous solution. For example, KOH. In its aqueous solution, it dissociates to give K plus and OH minus. Water dissociates as H plus and OH minus. Okay, so bases are those substances which give OH minus ion. NaOH, sodium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, all these are bases. Now, there are not two type of bases. Basically, we'll talk about alkalis. Alkali. What is an alkali? So, some bases are water soluble while some bases are not soluble in water. So generally most of the bases which are soluble in water, they are considered as alkalis. So what is an alkali? It is water soluble base. Most of the bases, they do not dissolve in water, but some bases they dissolve in water and they are known as alkalis, and that is why we say a base which is soluble in water is an alkali. So we say that all alkalis are bases, but all bases are not alkalis. For example, water soluble, potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, these are soluble in water. Sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, then calcium hydroxide, ammonium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide. Okay, all these are soluble bases and are very, very useful. Okay, and then there are some bases which are not soluble in water. Okay, then what is the common thing in all these bases? For example, if I have sodium hydroxide, I have potassium hydroxide, and I have magnesium hydroxide. What is the common thing in all these? NaOH, KOH and MgOH. just like acids, all these bases in the aqueous solution, they dissociate as OH minus ion. So they give Na plus plus OH minus ion, K plus plus OH minus ion, and Mg 2 plus plus 2 OH minus ion. Okay, so here again what we see that the bases, they give OH minus ion in their aqueous solution. Okay, so this is the common thing in bases. Again, strong bases, they are good electrolytes. Okay, so we'll see what is a strong base and what is a weak base. Just like we have discussed that their acids are of two types, strong acid and weak acid. Bases are also classified as strong bases and weak bases. Strong base and weak base. Now, what is a strong base and what is a weak base? So, we were discussing the strong bases and weak bases. Alright, so what is a strong base and what is a weak base? A strong base is the one which completely ionizes in water, just like the strong acid. Just the difference is in the concentration of OH minus ion. Acid gives H plus ion and bases give OH minus ion. For example, NaOH and potassium hydroxide. These are the strong bases. Now, what is a weak base? Weak bases are those which partially ionizes in water. For example, calcium hydroxide. Okay, so just a second. Alright, so these strong bases are those which completely ionize in water, whereas weak bases are those which do not ionize completely in water. Next, we will discuss the properties of bases. Properties of bases. First of all, we discuss that bases are bitter in taste. Then they are soapy in touch. Alright, and also they turn red litmus blue. They turn red litmus blue. Alright, apart from these, the other characteristics or properties of bases are that, again, just like acid, the strong bases, they can also conduct electricity. Okay, due to the presence of the ions. As they dissociate in water, they are conducting in nature. For example, sodium hydroxide is a good electrolyte. Alright, apart from these, there are other properties of bases. For example, bases react with metal to form hydrogen gas and metal salt. Then bases also react with acid to form salt and water, that we have already discussed. Okay, so bases react with metals to form metal salt along with evolution of hydrogen gas. For example, if we take NaOH plus zinc metal forms sodium zincate, that is Na2ZnO2 plus H2 gases released. Alright, now how we get sodium zincate, that is Na is plus and zincate is 2 minus. So crisscross we will get Na2ZnO2. Okay, so this is, and more we will talk about the nature of zinc when we do metals and non-metals. Then bases react with acids. For example, NaOH is a base. It reacts with an acid to form salt plus water. Okay, which is the neutralization reaction. Next, bases react with non-metal oxides also to form salt and water. For example, calcium hydroxide. It reacts with non-metallic oxides, for example, carbon dioxide to form calcium carbonate along with water. So this is again a neutralization reaction. Okay, so these are the reactions of bases. Again, bases have many other uses. For example, calcium hydroxide, which is used in the manufacture of bleaching powder. Sodium hydroxide is used in manufacture of soap. Sodium carbonate is used as washing soda. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is used in fire extinguisher. So overall, if we see, these bases are quite useful in our lives. The next is, how do we know the strength of an acid or a base? So it was in 1909, Sorensen devised a scale which is called the pH scale, on which the strength of acid and bases find out. Okay, so we know this is a scale which ranges from 0 to 14, and the strength of acid or base is measured on this scale. Okay, so this scale is more detailing you will be studying in higher classes. Basically, pH is the negative logarithm of hydrogen ion concentration. So that we will discuss in, that is for class 11 particularly. So here we only discuss the basic. So this is the pH scale which ranges from 0 to 14. Okay. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. Okay, so this is the scale ranging from 0 to 14, where 7 is the neutral point. Okay, so when the pH is 7, the substance is neutral. For example, water. The pH of water is 7. Okay. Then as we move from 7 to 14, the basicity increases. That means the concentration of OH minus ion increases and concentration of H plus ion decreases. Similarly, when we go down, when we lower the value of pH, the acidic strength increases. When we lower the value of pH, the acidic strength increases. For example, now, if the pH value is between 0 to 3, they are considered as strong acid, whereas from 4 to 6, they are considered as weak acids. Alright. Similarly, from 8 to 10, if there is the pH scale lies between 8 to 10, then they are considered as weak base, whereas if pH is above 11 to 14, then it is a strong base. For example, the pH value of concentrated sodium hydroxide is 14, whereas dilute sodium hydroxide is 13. Similarly, pH value of a concentrated sulfuric acid is 0, whereas dilute HCl has a pH of 1. Okay, coffee has a pH value of 5. Blood has a pH value of around 7.4. Okay, washing soda has a pH value of 9. Alright, so this is how we can find out the strength of an acid or a base. So pH scale is a scale which helps us to know the strength of acid or base. Alright, then next is the some of the application we say, or we can call it importance of pH in our day-to-day life. For example, pH in our digestive system. Now pH in our digestive system, when we say, we mean that now our body, our stomach produces the hydrochloric acid, right, whose pH value is around 1 to 1.4, right. So this dilute hydrochloric acid help in digesting our food. But sometimes what happens, the concentration of the acid increases in our body, which leads to the acidity, right? When a person suffers from acidity, when a lot of spicy food is taken, sometimes it causes acidity. So in order to neutralize the pH of our body, the person is given an antacid. Okay, we know that antacid like milk of magnesia, or sometimes the baking soda also, which neutralizes the effect of the acid in the body. Similarly, pH can change as the cause of tooth decay. So sometimes when a person eats a lot of sweet food, okay, so what happens, the bacteria present in the mouth, they break down the food and they form acids such as lactic acid. Okay, so when the pH of the mouth goes down below 5.5, then it causes tooth decay. Okay, so this is the importance of pH in our day-to-day life, and there are many more importance of this pH. Alright, so this we have discussed the bases, the property of bases, and the importance of pH. In the next lecture, we will be discussing about salts and also do some questions. Okay, so I hope this much is clear to you. You have understood. Okay, if you like my lecture, kindly like and subscribe it, and do share with your friends who are needy.